Interesting. We have no fault codes, and we have a tach that moves. That's telling us our ignition input should be there. We should have spark. Very unusual problem, in my opinion, where we are right now with this car. This is where the sun's in my eyes and I'm making angry faces at you guys at the beginning of this video. But yeah, Paul Danner here with my son Caleb behind the camera, working on a Hyundai. This was bought by the customer in a non-running condition. It was brought to my friend Pete at Latour's Auto. The gas tank was leaking, so it got a new tank and something else I forget that they did. But anyway, it starts and stalls. It'll start, run. The second you give it throttle, it just dies, and then it doesn't start after that. I'm having another issue too where it's stuck in neutral. I can't get it out of neutral and back into park. Battery's dead too. So what's more fun than handling an intermittent start, stall, no restart whenever the battery's dead? Yeah, so we have a charger on it. That's where we are. Let's see if it starts. I don't know if it will. I can't get it out of neutral. I mean, whatever. We'll worry about that later. Let's see if it'll start. Nothing. Come over here. I need you to see something. All right, so just a preliminary, right? Crank it, watch the tach. All right, see a tach move like that, you're getting an RPM signal. I smell gas, so I'm a little bit thinking that this next check I was going to do isn't going to be valid, but let's try it. Fuel source, just to see if we're missing that. Pete, can you crank this for me? Yeah. We need to get a shirt that says "Crank it, Pete." Somebody said that years ago. Yeah, you said you. SD, crank it, Pete. Crank it, Pete. So we're just going to spray right in the intake. Didn't even try. That makes more sense to me that I could smell fuel. This is probably not going to be a fuel pump, Pete. Got something else goofy going on here. I was surprised it didn't react to fuel, because when I first started it fired right up, idled no problem. The second I touched the throttle, it died. And then it wouldn't restart after that. So 2010 Hyundai Sonata 2.4, that's what we're working on. And I'm just interested in the engine right now. No codes in the engine at all. Tried to start there. There we go. Fired right up. Idling no problem. So watch what it does when I step on the gas. Died. I mean, man, does that seem fuel related to me? I got an evap vent valve solenoid circuit fault. I don't care about that, but cranking it, and now it won't start. Such a strange one, man. It's possible we can revisit the fuel one, but obviously codes didn't help me at all. So I want to know right now if I have spark, and I want to do the control test with a test light. So I'm just looking at common wires, right? The common wire is this like pink looking one. So if you look at them all kind of bird's eye, you see the same color here, 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 and here. I know it's dirty. Then we have yellow, white, blue, and pink and black. Those are going to be your control wires. The transistor for these, because it's a 2-wire design, are inside of the ignition or the engine computer. So this is stuff, fundamentals you need to know when you're attacking a system like this. Guys, if you haven't already, check out my website, ScannerDanner.com. Join me in my classes where we talk about description, operation, testing of these systems. I'm just doing a quick control test. That's going to be your power feed for these coils. We want to make sure that that is maintaining when we're cranking. So we'll do that one first. We'll do crank, we'll watch that when we're cranking. It might dim a little bit, but it should stay lit. So nice steady light. Next check, I'm looking for coil control. And this is gonna be one where we wanna see a flicker. I wanna see an on-off flicker. Looked the same, didn't it? So no control, we're missing spark. I don't need to remove a coil and put an air gap in there and check for spark. There's no spark happening here. That makes sense why it didn't react to fuel. When I sprayed fuel in it, we're missing spark. Interesting, We have no fault codes, and we have a tach that moves. That's telling us our ignition input should be there. We should have spark. Very unusual problem, in my opinion, where we are right now with this car. Let's see if we can get this to run or crank, and you keep watching that coil negative. I'm gonna cycle the key, wait, and we're gonna see if we can get that thing to start flickering, and then probably what we'll see is it'll start to flicker and then the car's gonna start. Might be too fast control with the car running to see a flicker, but we'll see. Key off, key on, off, on. I'm gonna leave the key off for a little bit. That seemed to be how we'll get it to start. Yeah, with the drivers all in the computer, it's just not something I've seen before on a Hyundai, is a computer failure or one where the computer just is not firing the coils. I wonder if we have injection pulse. I should look for that too while we're waiting. We can do the same checks with the injectors. All right, watch that test light. Nope. Okay, while we're waiting, let's do a quick injector test. We're gonna do this one a little bit different, maybe. So I don't like to back probe injectors with them plugged in because sometimes my test light is enough current to make an injector turn on. Let's see if it does on. There's your positive. I don't wanna hear a click. Did you hear the click? Yeah. So I just made that injector turn on. That's my control wire, that's my feed. So I'm gonna modify my test a little bit. I'm gonna disconnect the fuel injector, and then I'm gonna go on the injector control wire, and I'm gonna switch to battery positive with my test light. This battery's, this has just seen better days. Let's make sure my test light lights when I touch the ground.
Okay.
And then this should pulse. Ground side switch circuit, that should pulse when I crank it. Sometimes it's hard to see a pulse with these injectors.
I could see it.
Is it real? It's real dim, right?
It's real dim, yeah, go
ahead.
ahead.
Ready? It's consistent though, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so that explains why we smell fuel. These injectors are firing. There's no reason why these coils should not be firing, no reason. This one's really cool. So far, this is cool because I've not seen this before, where all the coils aren't firing. Unless this has like an external module, I need to familiarize myself. That doesn't look good. Look, that doesn't look right. This is my engine computer. Doesn't this connector look like it's not latched right?
It does look funny. I don't know.
No, it's closed. All right, that's weird. Back to my coil negative. I moved my test light back to battery negative for this. See if we can get this thing to start for us. Key off. Key on. All right, I'm gonna wait for a little bit, Caleb, with the key off. My goal here is I wanna show that test with it running when it starts. Yeah. You're gonna see that flicker that I was talking about. While we're waiting with the key off, well, let's pull up a wiring diagram, see what we're dealing with. I'll have to double check the anti-theft system on this too. If the anti-theft shuts down ignition coils, yeah. I mean, it's letting the injectors fire. Usually if it's shutting down the coils, it's doing the injectors too, because you don't want fuel and no spark. I've seen that though on a Nissan, where I had an anti-theft system where the injectors were still firing, but the coils were not. And that can be maybe related here. I don't know, but I don't see why that would make it stall when I hit the throttle. This one's weird. This one's weird. Let's find our coils. Just want to make sure there isn't an external ignition module on this. So here's our coils. We'll just go on the control wires. Where do they go? Yeah, they go directly to the PCM. Yeah, so this is exactly what we thought as far as operation goes. Nothing unusual there. Let's see if the scanner offers me any type of bidirectional controls with the engine off. Let's see if, yeah, sweet. Ignition coil, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, before I do this bidirectional test where I can manually make the coils fire, I wanna see, let's go back, see if it starts. Key's been off for a longer period of time. Go back, Caleb, and take a shot of that test light. Okay, key on. Cranking. Nothing. All right, what cylinder am I on? Number 1's right next to you. Am I on cylinder 2?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna take the scan tool. You just stay right there focused. Take the scan tool, and I'm gonna hit ignition coil 2, hit continue, and turn it on.
I see like a...
It is flickering.
Yeah.
Very, very slightly.
That's hard to catch.
Yeah, it's super quick. All right, let's see. We're gonna pull that coil out now. I can hear it too. I'm pretty sure that is working.
It is. I hear
I'm gonna turn that off. Pop this out. Doing this just to confirm my findings here, people. Make sure I wasn't missing that pulse. So we'll just set an air gap. I'm gonna do a 20,000 volt air gap. That should work. And then just anything metal really on the block. Doesn't even have to be a great ground. I'm just going to the valve cover bolt. I narrowed the gap so you can see the spark better. With a narrower air gap, there would be...
It's bluer.
It'd be more orange because there's more current flow.
Oranger.
So you see the computer has no problem firing this, and there's a 30,000 volt gap. And let's cover something that people are mistaken about when it comes to this kind of testing. My test light's connected to ground. I'm gonna go away from the battery though for this. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna use my test light. This is outside of the car stuff here, okay? I'm gonna make this jump to my test light. I had people that were really concerned about what I was doing with a test light, right? First of all, it's incandescent, don't use an LED for this. Will I get shocked if my finger is touching this?
No.
But I mean, the spark's gonna jump right to that, watch. Watch. I'm not jumping. I'm not getting shocked. Why? Because I had people say, oh, you got your finger too close to your light. If my finger is in between, I'm gonna get it. But as long as the tip of that is closer than my finger, I'm not gonna even touching this. This is electricity 101, guys. Why? I'm not in the path. My test light is. If I were to disconnect my test light ground, I'll get it, right? But actually,
let's try that.
If I disconnect my test light ground, what's gonna happen is the spark's gonna then not jump to my finger, it's gonna jump over here. Yeah, so just wanted to show that little aspect. This could be a nice short right here, right? On spark control and understanding electricity and current flow. I'm not getting shocked. Why am I not getting shocked? Because I'm not in the path. My test light ground is connected. It's going to ground through my test light. Oh, I hope you got that. All right. Anyway, let's narrow this down. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have Caleb watch this. All right, so test light's installed. You see the little flicker every time that guy's firing, okay? I'm gonna turn this off of the bidirectional mode and then see if it'll start, or I'll crank it and wanna see what it does.
You have start.
I do?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I saw it.
Really?
I heard it. Do you want to see it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I absolutely have spark. So, yeah, my coil control test with my test light, one of my favorite tests to do, actually led me astray here on this car. And now I'm thinking I want to revisit the fuel because I know my injectors are firing and I know my coil's firing. I'm upset that my control test with a test light failed me. It failed me on this one. This is why you need multiple ways to do things. And when you're unsure, you need to be able to check yourself. I really want to see a flicker in this, Caleb. It should be flickering. It should be different. I want to do this one more time, and I want you to focus real good on that light. Obviously not with my hand there. It's going to bounce around too. So I want you to hold this so it doesn't bounce around. And we're going to go between the two and see if we see a difference. We know we have spark now. You ready?
It's so hard to say. I need to look with my eye.
You can't keep it from shaking.
No, I can't. And
You couldn't see anything there? No flickering at all?
It didn't look like it. But
That's surprising to me. The answer why on this system is that primary control is so fast that it's not even enough for this light to be flickering, and that's very unusual. So that's on coil positive now. Compare. Ready?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't see it.
That one shouldn't be flickering. That was coil positive. One more time, coil negative. I'm just proving the test light test here. I smell fuel again.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Can't see a flicker, huh?
I mean, I'm gonna slow it down in post and see if we see it.
Yeah, but this test on this, we clearly have spark, we clearly have control. What I told you before, that wind is gonna be bad right now. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. That test kind of failed me. That's been a foolproof test for me forever on so many different systems, but I can't see the flicker of that light. It's just too fast. We could spend a lot more time on that and scope it and look at the dwell time of the coil and explain why we can't see it here. I'm not gonna do that. We have spark, we have injection pulse, the car's not starting, so we're either flooded, the engine's either flooded, or we don't have fuel pressure. So I want to put this back, and I want to spray a fuel source again in the intake and see if we can make this thing start. All right. Yeah, we just didn't have enough. We were barking up the wrong tree the whole time. This is, well, my initial spray, I just didn't spray it enough because it's going down and around and over. Like, it's got a long way to go to get into the air cleaner box and then down in. So I just didn't spray it enough. We have a fuel issue. This is gonna probably end up being a fuel pump that's not working, not operating. Not gonna be easy to tee in. This is where we would do it, and that's rather unfortunate because ease of testing is kind of where I'm going. Let's see if we got a fuel pump relay here we can go after. This should be my fuel pump right here. Yes, fuel pump, sweet. All right, I'm going this route because I don't want to adapt the fuel pressure gauge. Go here, and step one on this tool is when I flip that switch, we should hear the pump. I don't hear anything. I would hear fuel right here, the fuel rails right here. So we have no pressure. Let's see if we have pump control. Whenever I crank this, Caleb, this light should light, the 8586. This is just the best like relay circuit tool there is. Cranking it.
It's lit.
Okay, that's good. So that's control side. Then load side, I've done this a whole bunch with you guys with this tool. This is another fundamental that you want to learn. Even though our fundamental for our coil control failed us, knowing circuit design is still key. But my load side's up here. So if I hit the LED light, the button right here, that should light, and it's not telling me my pump circuit is open. And we can prove that too with another test. Let me just make sure here. One of these two should be lit. There, 30's lit, 87 is not. When I hit that, it's lighting now because my test light's in there. It should find a ground through the pump motor. So what's happening is when I'm hitting that LED button, it's connected to the positive brush of the fuel pump. And then with the motor not spinning, it would go through the winding, the bulb would go through the winding into the negative brush and to ground, and that light should be lighting. So we have an open circuit down to the pump. Good thing I didn't spend all that time connecting my pressure gauge because we have an open circuit here. I can also show you that with switching my test light to battery positive. This puts a little bit more load than the LED bulb does on the tool, but through the armature of the pump, that light should be lit. And if I go down, if I smack on the tank, that light should light. I know there's an access cover here too, so maybe we'll do that. Let me see if I can get to the tank. Yeah, I'm gonna smack on it, Caleb. Did it light?
No.
No?
Yep.
All right, let's see if we can get access to this pump. I think Pete said it was accessible. I'm gonna wiggle this wire and go up front. Sure. I'm gonna wiggle this in here. I want you to watch that test light. Nothing, huh?
Nothing.
Wow, that's crazy that it even started at all. It's crazy that it stalled whenever I gave it gas. It's just so odd. So some of you might be thinking, well, you could do a current draw measurement of the pump, and I could, but the reason I'm not, that test with the test light or the LED of the tool is telling me I have an open circuit. So doing current flow is just gonna tell me what I already know. There isn't any. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess it's probably cost to the customer, but I would have not put the original fuel pump back in this. The tank was replaced again because of leakage. I would have put a pump in it. Pete has one. There is an access cover, so not a big deal. Tank doesn't have to come back down, so that's cool. But I remember when he did this, he had an issue with the connector. The connector was all pulled apart on it too. So he had to order a new connector for it. Yeah, you can see he taped that back up. But this would be my pump connector. It is plugged in. And we should have, I'm gonna bring my tool around. I can't, it won't reach. Okay, I'm gonna change this up. Caleb, look here through the glass. I'm flipping the switch. I'm gonna power this pump. Okay, that pump circuit's energized right now. Key is on. Can I find me a good ground? Is the question. Let's unplug this. It's gonna be the heavy wires. That's not good. That's a bad crimp. Oh, I don't have ground on my light. This is gonna have to be redone. In his defense, this was all boogered up and destroyed before he got it. But this last one, I like these heat shrink ones, those look okay. This last one I don't like. I mean, I have that energized, that should be on. I don't like my ground. Oh, I bumped my switch.
So what, it wasn't powered on?
Is it on now?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I wasn't pointing at it. Turn it on again.
No, I bumped the switch off. There's off, back on.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so the pump should run when I do this, and it's not. So we still have an issue. This was a poor crimp, but this was not my problem. This came apart when I touched it. Let's just get it. Oh, I haven't unplugged, you dumb. The pump's not gonna run if it's not plugged in, you dumbass. Okay, pump should run when it touches. I heard it.
Oh yeah, I hear it.
Car should start.
Whoa, it's spraying fuel.
Is it?
Yeah, it's spraying fuel.
Where? Oh, the line popped off. You know, when we first came back here, I smelled gas.
It stunk.
This line was not clipped on all the way, and that's probably the highest pressure we got. It's rusty, that's why. So it didn't latch properly. Those are things that, you know, you check when you're done, when you have pressure, right? Okay, that was a little sketch, huh? We can have an arc right there and an explosion right now, which is really bad. Like, I don't want to connect that right now. Not with this energized. Let me shut this off. Okay, that's off. Let's fix that. At least we're inside the car now where it's not windy, right? Man, Pete, you should have left yourself some extra wires here.
It's so short.
I know. Oh, man. We got some wiring issues to the pump. Yeah, I don't know yet. Just give me a minute. It pulled apart. It pulled apart when I touched it.
You need new ends?
No, I have one. I'm getting rid of the one you had. Like your other connections you did, but this one I did.
That one was sucked, I know.
Yes. And then the fuel line, once we got pressure, the fuel line blew off.
Yeah.
Well, because it's rusty and it wasn't latched all the way. I mean, that's stuff you would have known if you had pressure, you know. So I don't even know that it's even on all the way now, to be honest. Yeah. No, see, it just popped right off. Like I just popped it off. It's because this part's so rusty. I need this to latch. It's not. Like that's gonna pop off. Let me get my pocket screwdriver on that.
Clean all that.
I'm gonna try. Welcome to PA. Rust. This should lock on its own. Did I get it that time? Looks like it. Looks like it, yeah. No, it keeps popping off, Pete. We might need a new line here, buddy. Like this clip is broken.
Or a new clip.
A new clip. We're gonna need a new clip. I can run this though. I should be able to run it.
I probably got clips in there. I'll find them.
We need to heat shrink this too, but I'm not doing that with all the gas right here right now. Let's see if we can make this run. We'll revisit our tests up there. Let's revisit the LED test first, right here. All right, continuity down to the pump. Flip the switch. Pump's gonna run. Let's make sure we're not blowing fuel everywhere. Yo, like we are. Okay, we're not running this.
I don't think the camera caught that it was spraying.
Just spraying everywhere. It's actually the line. It's the line itself. There's a hole.
Yeah, I see.
From me moving the rust, me putting pressure on that metal line because it was rusty, trying to clean it off. He's gonna need to change this. That's coming from the pump.
Mm-hmm. That sucks.
What sucks is I can't run it.
Yeah.
I killed it. Well, it's getting a pump now, isn't it? So me doing current draw measurements and other things I wanted to do, I can no longer do. This needs a pump. Pete has one, which is nice. I'm gonna make him put it in, like right now. Hey, Pete. Unfortunately, when I scraped the rust off of that, it was enough pressure. It's now squirting up out of the pump housing.
So it needs a pump.
Yes. You have one, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
You want me to get one?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to at least hear the car run for the video, you know? So you need the whole housing. You need another clip for that too. Yeah, I don't really want to run it. I mean, we could put some rags around it and see if it starts. No, I don't know. I don't know. It's really not safe, but that's what we're gonna do. It's not like I can have a before and after for you guys because I'm not doing current flow measurements. It was still a good diagnosis, sort of. I'm gonna have you crank that. Wait, let me put the relay back in. I just want you to, you're gonna start it and then put your foot on the gas and rev it because we couldn't do that before. Okay. And then just be ready to jump out in case it catches on fire. All right, sweet. That's all we needed. Good. Shut it off. Spraying fuel everywhere. So the reason why it was doing that is whenever you snap the throttle, that's gonna put more volume loss at the injectors and makes the pump work harder. And that's when that circuit would open up. So it was just barely making contact. And I can't prove that to you guys now at this point because we fixed that problem. And now I can't really show you much more than where we are because we're just spraying fuel everywhere. And even putting a new pump in this, when we're done, it's not gonna be anything more than what we're showing you, which is what Caleb just did. He started it, was able to rev it up. This needs a fuel pump. Hope you guys learned something along the way in this one. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. We're done. We're done.
That was fun.